This episode is brought to you by Saks Fifth Avenue. Well, first and foremost, Saks Fifth Avenue carries favorite daughter. That's first and foremost.
They've been a very good partner for us.
They've been a great partner for us. They have a very, very chic, curated section of favorite daughter. You know, all different retailers do their own curations. Saks's curation is just chic, chic, chic. It is the woman who is doing it all. She runs a business. She runs a household. She runs her friend group. She's me. She's me.
The thing that I've been most proud about with our relationship with Saks is our SNL 50th anniversary collab, which was an exclusive with Saks, and it came through them, and that was very cool. Highlight of my career.
Saks is just like, you just know you're going to walk in there, you're going to go on their website. Everything's good there. Everything's good. There's really no weak links, you know? Everything is just chic and elevated. Those buyers do not mess around. I mean, they have always been quick to say to us, that's not for us.
Saks is just elevated. You can find everything that you need there, top to bottom. They have everything, and they have so many great locations. Their Fifth Avenue store is iconic.
Don't even get me started on the Beverly Hills store. Don't get me started.
Why don't we get you started? We have the time.
It's just an experience. When you walk in that store, it's just, you've been to the Beverly Hills store. It's like a museum. It's a museum. You walk in, it's just, and it inspires you. Saks inspires me to look better.
Oh, well, because they put things together very well.
Yes.
And they've been a great partner to us. Favorite daughter loves being at Saks.
I've said all this.
Okay. Well, but you should go to Saks and experience the store in person, and
also,
go to Beverly Hills, go to Saks Fifth Avenue.
Take a seat. Just take a seat.
Oh, okay. Well, shop favorite daughter there. Can I say
that?
Take
a seat. You. Now that I'm looking at you, you need to take a trip to Saks today.
Oh,
you should head there. You should actually put the mic down and head there now.
Oh my God. All right, fine. I'm going to go right now. Will you drive me actually?
No.
Should I get out of my robe?
That would be nice. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Give us a call to action, Erin.
Okay. Honestly, the call to action is just shopsaks.com.
Right.
That's all you got to do. Shopsaks.com. Yeah, Justine, tell us.
Wow, that actually does make me uncomfortable.
See? Knew we could do it.
Can I say, what if I say a name and then you guys like bleep it out?
Great.
Okay.
Unless you decide that you want to, but it would not go over well. I dated.
Justine, I don't think we can bleep it. Sorry, we need ratings. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I think you have to.
Welcome, new people. You should know that we are never prepared. We are always wearing sweats. We're never wearing makeup.
I would almost consider myself the MC of this podcast. I am the narrator.
So welcome. We hope you enjoy this.
All right, you guys have been asking for this episode for a long time. You've asked. When you ask, you shall receive. Today we have none
Justine
other.
Lupe. Justine Lupe. Okay,
AKA
don't say her
Morgan.
name wrong. It's not Loopy. It's Lupe. She plays maybe Sarah, maybe not. Plays the character Morgan
Well, guess
in the
what?
show.
You'll find out. If you want to know if she plays me, you got to listen to the episode. So many cool nuggets in this.
She's great.
I love her manifesting story because I'm all about the manifesting.
I like her juicy story towards the end.
Oh yeah, if you want the juicy story, then you definitely have to wait till the end. But she's just cool, man. She's cool. She's talented. She's a new mom. She's
got it all.
She's in the prime of her life.
Wow, you sound jealous.
It could have been me.
Like genuinely could have been you. Like it's literally her playing you, and they were like, "No, thank you to you. Like we'll take her."
Well, I never auditioned. I mean,
Yeah.
Thank God.
Only didn't get the offer.
We talked about that, but I mean, not about that part, but we talked about how as an actress, so many women were like, you can offer it to me. And how she was like, I'll read 500 times. I don't care. I'll do the work. And you know what happens, Erin, when you do the work? Ever heard of the saying, hard work pays off? Have you ever heard of that? Or did I just make that up?
No, you just made it up.
I just made that up. Hard work pays off.
No, you got to write that down.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to write that
Write
down.
it down. Literally write it down.
Literally writing that down.
All right. I love you. My child's up. I got to go.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. But I had so much more to say.
I know. Just type it in an email, send it to me. I'll have Montana read it and delete it. I'll have her read it and then give you the cliff notes on set.
Okay. Okay.
Gotta go.
You're what a pleasure.
Great to see you as always.
Always a pleasure. Never a chore. Okay, guys, enjoy this episode. You will.
Justine,
I'm like really nervous.
You are now
you
our
should
victim.
You should be. We talked to old colleagues, old friends from high school. We did our research. Okay, we're trying to be more professional.
This is an ambush.
This is professional. This is what professional looks like, Sarah.
Yes, Sarah. What about that is professional?
Threatening me.
Sarah doesn't understand what professional means.
We're trying to be more professional.
Yeah, well, we're trying to be more like investigative journalists. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to be.
I don't think we are.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, but every time we have celebrities on, Erin always says that I refuse to ask any kind of meaningful question, to the point when we had Kim on,
she like kisses everyone's ass. It's exhausting.
Yeah, I just kiss because I don't ever want people to feel uncomfortable coming on. So I just kiss everyone's ass.
But it also feels like Kim in particular. I listened to this episode and it feels like you love her.
No, I really. Oh, like romantically?
No, it just feels like you have like a girl crush on her a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you.
By the way, since I was 12.
Like it makes. Yeah, no, I know. I heard.
She heard all about it.
So it makes sense that you didn't like really like, hard hit her because she's like, it even feels like there's
Courtney Cox. Like people were furious about this episode. People wrote in and they were like, "You are the worst."
No, they just said it's so boring because it's like you're just kissing her ass all the time. You're not like asking fun questions. Anyway, Justine is not just a celebrity. She's a very close friend of mine, and she also knows you, Sarah. And Justine plays Morgan, who is loosely based on Sarah, but not really based on you. It's more like our dynamic with the sisters. But Justine, you are the breakout from season 1. I mean, you're obviously a core character, but just like the idea that people were like obsessed with you, because I feel like people fell in love with you as an actress on Succession, but you get to do so much more in this show. Like in Succession, it felt like you were this character who you didn't get enough of, but what you got was so special. But like now you get to really like, wave your freak flag.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, thanks for saying the nice things, but also thanks for writing that. The part.
But it is interesting because I feel like you always wanted more Willa in Succession. I always wanted more of.
But there's so many characters to serve on that show. It's probably so hard.
I know. I mean, they're like these British people. They're like, they have just such integrity, and they really only write what will service the plot, which is why it was so incredible. But it was kind of like, I wish that there had been more, but it was kind of like perfect for that time in my life. It was good to be kind of like a fly on the wall with those actors for that long, because they're all just they're so good.
I would have loved to see Willa as First Lady. I mean, that would have been a great spinoff. Everybody wants.
Okay, well, guys, I'm starting to feel like we're talking about Succession too much, and I'm feeling threatened by it.
I know, but Erin, no offense, but like the majority of the questions were Succession. That was the majority of the questions.
Justine goes, "It's literally been like 1 minute." Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But I will say that we were looking at the questions, and people really want to know about like your process, the audition process of getting the part of Morgan. First of all, let me just say this: the part. I think I may have told you this. I don't know. The part was when I first wrote the pilot, her name was Hannah. And then I was told that it's actually I didn't really know, but Hannah is like a very Jewish name. And so they were like, no, we need like a very non-Jewish name for her. And so I was like, what's the most like American name I can possibly think of? And Morgan is like such an American name to me. You're not going to be like an Italian girl named Morgan, or like a British, maybe there's a British girl named Morgan, but it just felt very American to me.
Totally. It's like Connecticut feeling.
Yes. Very, very waspy white. Very, very American.
I love the name Morgan. And I love Mo, which is like now written into scripts. It says Mo when you guys are trying to like move fast through things. And I kind of like love that. It's so
sometimes we're trying to pull a line up on the script, because they're like, the scripts are too long and you're trying to make it onto like 29 pages instead of 30 pages.
Sneaky.
So anywhere we can find a place to shorten in between dialogue,
so smart.
We try to shorten it. Yeah.
That's smart. Did you just like create this trick, or was it something that someone okay.
No. It's an old hack.
It's good.
Okay, so tell us about the auditioning process to get this job.
Okay. Yeah, I did a tape for it. And well, when I got it, I just remember it's so funny. There's like a few auditions that you get where you look at I have like a memory of like the page. Like I have a memory of the email on my phone when I opened it. And it's like so weird because I don't remember any other emails on my phone, but I have like a flash. Like I have like a recall of seeing the audition. And it's funny because I all started to talk about Succession again, but I also have the same thing with Succession. So I don't know what it is. It like imprinted into my brain when I saw it. And I read it and I like had, I knew your guys' names, but I didn't know like your voices or your tone or anything like that. And I read it and it was just so clear. I just like heard the people really, really clearly. And then I was like, okay, well, I know that this is kind of autobiographical, at least to some degree. So I was like, I'm going to like dive in and see what these people sound like. And it was exactly what I heard in my head. Like, I was like, oh, okay. So like, she's an incredible writer. Like she just like got the whole dynamic so clearly onto the page. I could like hear them before I heard them. And that got me really excited. So I did my tape and I was like, I had a lot of fun with it. And then I got asked to do a chemistry read with Kristen, which I was super excited for. And
well, because for me, just to jump in on that, like, not every actor is willing to do a chemistry read, right? This is like insider stuff, which is you're such like a team player, but
not many actresses are willing to do any read, is what we found out.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people that they're on a list of offer only, which for the audience means that they will not audition, that you have to offer them the role. And it's shocking some of the names that are on there because it's like you've never heard of them before.
I remember Erin being like, have you ever heard of this person? Like legit. Like, I've never heard of this person. Am I just not smart? Because I've never heard of this person.
But then some people will audition, but they won't do a chemistry read because it's sort of considered like, oh, we're seeing, what your vibe is with this other actor. And for me, first of all, Kristen was like down to read with anybody. And second, I was like, this is so important to me because you have to feel like sisters. It takes an entire lifetime to get the comfortable, relaxed energy of two people who are sisters. And so that dynamic was so important to me to have. And so when we were watching the chemistry read, it wasn't just how good of an actress is this person. It was also like, do they just have natural like chemistry in a room together? Continue.
No, I mean, it's funny you say, okay, so I guess I don't want to sound like a total theater nerd, but I guess I'm kind of the mind where I'm like, okay, this might be my only chance to act, like genuinely. Like I framed my auditions, and this is where it sounds really nerdy, but like I've really started to frame them as like, this is the time to do the part. Like you might not get to get that part. So like, if you want to act this part, like this is your moment to like be Morgan for like a time. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. But at least like you got the process of like playing that part for a time, even if it's just for yourself or like your reader or whatever. So like, I know it does sound like really nerdy where I'm like, I just love acting, but it's just the truth of the matter is like, I'm like, okay, this is my chance to like act for a little while. And most of the time we don't get to get the part. So like, why not take a chance and like have fun with a role that you might not ever get to play, but you get the opportunity to try it. So that's like that piece of it. And I'm also just like, I want to know that I'm what you want, because like, I don't like going into a place without like everybody kind of like checking the boxes. Like the way that I see it is I'm like, I'm serving a function in your dream. And like, that's like how I operate. Like I'm like, the director and the writer, like I'm kind of just there to like serve the function of this character in like the larger thing. And like, it makes me feel more confident to be like, okay, I went through that and that's what they want. Like I'm part of that dream. That's what they want for this. So for me,
you're saying to be offer only would remove all of that from the process. Like you want to know you earned it because you're right for the role.
Not only earn it, but you don't want to get the job and then get fired. People get fired, not even for being bad actors, but just for not being
right. Not being right for it. And like, like people thinking like, oh, this will work. And then it just doesn't work. And also I want to know that I have chemistry with Kristen Bell. I mean, there's like probably no world where I would ever say like, no, even if we didn't have chemistry. But I also like, it was like comforting to be like, okay, like this is what it feels like being with her. So like, why not?
Erin, you know, this is the difference between a thespian and just an actress, because this is exactly it. Like, I don't know about you, Erin, but when I was, you know, acting for so many years, I looked at the audition process as it's basically hell to then get the job. Whereas thespians look at the auditioning process as a job. Auditioning is your job.
Yeah.
It's all part of the same thing. And it's like, yeah, this is just, you're a thespian. And
well, she went to Juilliard. Justine went to Juilliard. She's like a real actress. Okay, we are not really real actresses.
No. Thank you. It's not to say that it can't be annoying. Like, I think it's also like to say like, oh, I don't like, I just love every bit of auditioning and making a tape. Like, it's not exactly that either. But I do feel like overall, I enjoy it. Yeah.
And did you always want to do comedy? Because I imagine when you go to Juilliard, it's sort of a dramatic process.
You know, it's funny. In high school, like I really leaned into comedy. And I remember we did like a scene from Streetcar and my teacher was like, Justine, you just made it a comedy. Like, this is not a comedy. And then I went to Juilliard and they like really like their whole thing is kind of like pushing you away from what's familiar. So like I didn't play an ingenue and I didn't really do comedy for like the whole way through because they were like, okay, like you've done this before and you might do it after. So like, let's give you like a role that you never would be cast as. So I was like a lot of like matriarchs and a lot of like very old women. And
I mean, by the way, Succession was
really funny.
Succession was a comedy. Like I thought Succession was a comedy. I mean, it was a brilliant dark, but everyone in that, the comedic chops from everybody were
really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rode this really fine line of being like deadly serious and also really funny, which is what made it so good that you're like, oh my God, the stakes are so high. This is so intense. And also I'm like laughing the whole time. Yeah, I loved Succession. Sorry,
I remember
Sarah,
like that whole process thinking like, I remember just like saying to Erin, like, it's so crazy that because you felt, I mean, some like really incredible actresses obviously wanted the role of Morgan and whatever, but you just felt really elevated to me and I think to everybody. And I remember saying to Erin, it's so interesting that the actress that I consider sort of the one who would elevate the show the most is the most like, what do you need? Like, I'll pre-read. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'll do anything. And then a lot of the girls who have never even, like, I never even heard of were so above it, you know? And it's interesting.
Yeah. I'm kind of also just like, what are they working? Because like what world, like there's like, it already feels like it's slim pickings, you know, especially if you're not like mega famous. So it's like, what, I don't know. Like it's get different strokes for different folks. I also think like some people might just have a different relationship where they're like, I can just choose what I want to do and what I don't want to do. And I can be more relaxed about it or something. But
these people aren't those people. I think they've got like a big ego or they've got bad reps that are giving them bad advice.
But by the way, I worked on the Knives Out audition with Kate Hudson for like 2 days straight. You know, this is like when she was a huge movie star, but she still had to audition for that role. You know, what was that, like 3 or 4 years ago? I mean, I think a lot of directors, like they want to see you. They want to see you on tape.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like the agent thing too. Cause I'm like, and then that's scary because you're like, how many times are my agents saying offer only? Like, and I'm like, I would do it. Like, you know, totally. I don't know. I wonder if it's that or if it's just literally they're like, well, I just am not like, don't want to audition. It's so crazy to me though.
And so how long, I'm just jumping into some of the social questions because they're kind of part of what we're talking about, which is people wanting to know what you were doing before acting and like, I mean, it's a big question to say, tell us your life story, but how long you've been acting and like what the trajectory was like. And was Succession sort of out of the blue or was it like a slow grind there?
No, I like, I mean, just to like fast forward through the beginning part of it, but like I was always like really into it. I loved acting, like even when I was like a kid with my brother, like he's funny. It's funny because he's a DP. And he used
my
to like
dream job. I kind
of can imagine you being good at it in a weird way. I don't know.
No. Justine,
she's obsessed with lighting.
I would win Oscars. I don't know. I'd be the cinematographer.
Get into it.
I know.
Get
do
into it, Sarah. Come
We
on.
don't think that ship has sailed.
No.
I don't think so. Yeah. So anyway, he was like filming me doing these like little skits even as like a kid. And I was like really obsessed with it. I went to like JCC every summer for like theater camp.
What's JCC? I don't know what that is.
The Jewish Community Center.
I was literally just going to say, wait, the Jewish Community Center, but that's what you mean.
The Jewish Community Center. My parents are not Jewish, but they were like really into like showing us all kinds of different religious stuff. So we did like Young Life a little bit. We did JCC. We watched Joseph Campbell videos. Like they were like, we want you to like know it all. So anyway, I went to the JCC for preschool. And then I also went there every summer for theater camp. And then I got into this like magnet art school in Denver that went 6 through 12. And I just went there all through middle school and high school in theater. Auditioned for Juilliard, got into Juilliard, which was bonkers. And then when I graduated, I just was doing like a lot of like episodes, and I would do like a pilot every year. Most of them like failed. And then like a little bit of like, I did like a couple movie roles, and then I got a job called Mr. Mercedes, which nobody ever saw, but it was like a Stephen King show that Brendan Gleeson was the lead of, who's like incredibly talented. I don't know if you guys know him, but he was in like In Bruges, and he was in the Banshees of Inisherin, the one that just came out like a couple years ago. He's incredible. So I was opposite him, and that was like incredible because it was like this little bubble that nobody got to watch the show, but like I got like the biggest acting lesson ever because I was like with this like pro who's just so talented. And it was David E. Kelly. It was just really good. And
I can't believe the show didn't go.
It went for 3 years, but like it was on this network that nobody knows about called Audience Network, was like DirecTV's network, and
Never
then
heard of it.
moved to Peacock. Yeah.
By the way, Erin also worked with David E. Kelly.
I did?
What did you?
She was on an episode of House.
Yes, I did a one episode. I did one scene in House. That's true.
I mean,
I forget that you guys were both actors. Like I knew, Sarah, you were like actually acting a lot, but I forget that you acted.
Been in a lot of cult classics, Justine.
People forget. People forget. Yeah, just ask Sarah. She'll remind you.
Wait, but Erin, why? Like, it's just so funny because, like, Sarah, I totally see like you being an actress, but like Erin, I just cannot. Like, in a million years, like you look like Jessica Biel, so like you've got the looks, but I'm like, it's like so.
Wait, me?
Yeah,
look like Jessica Biel.
That's very generous.
Yeah,
that is
Justine.
so nice. Sarah, you can get off now. We're good. Wait, that's so nice.
I just can't imagine your
like
personality.
I'm too
ever
cool for
wanting
it.
to.
I
think you are.
I don't know.
No,
it's
she
the
was
weirdest
actually
thing.
really good on House. You should check out that episode.
No, I was not.
Really,
please don't anyone check it out. Okay, my hair was insane. I'd love to speak to the hair and makeup department that decided that was the look I should go with. I was so bad. I was so nervous. I wasn't a good actress. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was pursuing
really
it.
is when they start.
I don't know why I was pursuing it, and nothing has made me realize how much of an actress I was not than by watching you guys now on this show, and just the way you guys dive into the character and analyze everything. And I literally think to myself, like, God, I never did that when I was an actress.
It's actually like, I hate giving you compliments. Like it actually, like I'm going to break out into a rash because it really does kill me, but you actually are a good actress. And I like how you're kind of taking on that. Like, no, I'm just
I genuinely am not trying to be self-deprecating.
You actually are.
No, I remember being in any scene and I would just like try to like fake the emotion because I genuinely didn't know how to get there. So
yeah, but that's what a lot of it is anyway. Like this idea that we're all like really in the emotion is like nonsense. Yeah, no, it's about like having the tools to like make it look like you're there, but you're not there most of the time. Like at least that is how it is for me.
I remember in the audition, you were, and you are still, I remember Jenny said this about you recently, you're very, very loose in your body. Like you're really relaxed physically in a way that is really interesting to watch. Like you don't get stuck in one place. You don't get attached to one delivery. You can say a line and it's really funny, and then you'll say it different 5 other times. You don't get like stuck, like I always felt really self-conscious on camera where I'm like a robot and I like don't know how to like sit or like do normal movements. And I remember when you were auditioning and doing your chemistry read, I was like, it doesn't even feel like she's acting. Like I was like, I don't know if she's a good actress or not. It doesn't even seem like she's acting. Is she acting? Like she's just being a real person. And
That's so
that's
nice.
what being a great actress is. And
The
so
physicality is such a big
yeah.
part of it. It's such a
really
big
is.
part of it. And it makes such a big difference. Even sometimes
Mhm.
more than the delivery. It's like the physicality, how you are in your body. It's true. And it's hard. It's
That's
freaking
why they
hard.
make you go to all those weird like movement classes. I remember an acting coach was like, you need to go to this dance class. And I went there and it was like walk in front of the room with like a movement. And I was like, nope, I'm going to go home now. I cannot do that in front of everyone.
Yeah, no, it's like the exercises that we did in school. If like one of my family members came and watched it, they'd be like, what are we doing? Like, what are we paying for? Like, this is like, you guys are like, there's like one exercise we had to do. There's so many wild ones, but like, I remember there was one where we had to like be a leaf, like, and now you're a leaf for like an hour, like a leaf in the wind. And I remember just like, I was so tired at Juilliard that I was like, I remember just like sitting against the wall. And like at the end of it, they were like, what were you doing, Justine? And I was like a leaf. I was a leaf that was like caught in a fence. Like I just was like, I would find like any way to like not move because I was just like, this is so like, even for me, it was like cringe. And I mean, I guess
really
you have to do
funny.
it, but man.
Are you aware that most laundry detergents contain dangerous chemicals that stay in your clothes and can cause actual damage to your skin?
I am aware, and this is why I love Molly Suds because they offer powerful laundry detergents and household cleaners made with simple, safer, earth and plant-derived active cleaning ingredients. Plus, they're more cost-effective on a price per load than leading brands. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome. I'd love to give you some more points on them. Molly Suds is free from 1.4 dioxane, formaldehyde, synthetic dyes, artificial fragrances, SLS, optical brighteners, or other harmful chemicals that can cause cancer, disrupt your hormones, or cause allergic reactions. Molly Suds is cruelty-free, vegan, and Leaping Bunny certified, and proudly made in the USA. Plus, they're septic safe and easily breaks up mineral buildup in hard water. I really like their product.
Same. Erin, are you aware that Molly Suds has done the research, okay? They were founded by a pediatric nurse. She was just a mom who set out to create laundry detergent and cleaning products that were safe for the whole family. I love doing this podcast because we get to find all these new products.
So reduce the harmful chemicals in your home. Make the switch with Molly Suds today. Molly Suds just launched in Target, so pick up some on your next shopping trip or order now through our special URL to get 20% off of all Molly Suds products. To get this fantastic deal, go to mollysuds.com/Foster and use the code Foster at checkout. Again, for 20% off, go to mollysuds.com/Foster with 2 S's in the middle and use the code Foster at checkout.
All right, listen, if you're not using Goodwipes, I question your hygiene. I don't know. I'm not trying to be judgy, but Goodwipes is going to elevate your everyday hygiene with premium wipes that deliver a superior clean that no dry toilet paper can match. Look, these things are infused with soothing botanicals like aloe, vitamin E, and chamomile, gentle enough for sensitive skin, yet powerful
They're
enough
also
to
they're naturally scented, so you're not going to get a bunch of synthetic things happening over here.
harsh from free chemicals, parabens, dyes. I keep these in my car. I cannot explain to you how grateful I am on certain days. I'm like, oh, thank God. You know, a little under the arms, a little, whatever it's just they come in handy is all I'm going to say. Keep them in the car, keep them in your guest bathroom, in your bathroom, keep them in your purse. Having these on hand is smart. Goodwipes, they're also flushable. Now, some people don't want to flush, some do. These are flushable. So that is good to know. I don't flush them because that's just, I naturally just don't do that, but they are flushable.
So if you want to upgrade your restroom ritual, you can grab Goodwipes at Target, Walmart, Kroger, and most local grocery stores. As a special offer for our listeners, Goodwipes is giving you your first pack for free. Buy any package, text them your receipt, and get reimbursed almost immediately. For more details, head to goodwipes.com/first. Again, that's goodwipes.com/first to snag a free pack of Goodwipes. Here's the thing, Sarah, is that most people can't get into Dr. Diamond, is my guess.
I know.
And you see all these amazing before and afters, and you're like, get me some of that. The only way that most people are going to be able to get that is by getting the products, the Instafacial.
So what Dr. Diamond does, which I love, is that he has a 3-step process. So he knows, he gets it. He's not trying to push 20 different things that you have to choose from. He's like, these are the 3 things that you need. These are the 3 things that work.
I love when somebody simplifies a process.
Also, give us what works. Give us what is effective. I'm using this latest stuff. It is the Infusion Biomedic Micro Collagen Matrix. This stuff, it is a creamy gel collagen treatment. It is going to visibly lift, firm, and define skin. This is some award-winning stuff. This is some award-winning stuff that is science-backed that works. I am currently using it.
Listen, Dr. Diamond, he's a cult favorite. It's like you follow him on Instagram because you know that all the celebs are going to him and that all the before and afters are truly mind-blowing.
He's not messing around. He is not selling products that he doesn't know are going to work. It's that simple. He's just not doing that.
You're saying you can trust him.
Oh, you can trust him.
Visit drdiamondsmedicine.com to learn more about the Instafacial collection. Okay, add discovery-sized plasma to your cart and use the code FOSTER at checkout for a complimentary sample of the award-winning Instafacial plasma with any purchase of $200 or more. That's drdiamondsmedicine.com. Use the code FOSTER for a free sample of the award-winning Instafacial plasma.
And this is a big season for Morgan. We're giving her so many, in my opinion, fun things to like lean into. But it's got to be a little scary that you're a person named Justine, and then we create this character named Morgan, and like anything that Morgan does, Justine has to do. You know, like
I mean,
you read
I
a
love
script
it.
and you're like, oh my God, I have to do that?
No, I feel like, oh, I get to do that. That's how I feel. You're doing such a good job and it's so much fun. If anything, the only anxiety I have is just that it's a different season for me. Like in terms of, I mean, we've talked about this a little bit, but I'm like coming back as a new mom and being like, I actually have a sieve. Yeah. And like people always say like your brain becomes like a sieve, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then now I'm like, oh no, it's true. It's like my brain is a sieve, and trying to like be like a good mom when I'm not working, and working really hard while I'm there. And when I'm not like working and I'm not with Ellis, like, okay, I need to study my lines because like, I'm just so like, it's not the same as it used to be where I would work on them for a little bit and I could just like show up and do it. Like my brain feels like mush. And it's like, in order for me to be confident and not like go through moments where I feel like I need like a helping hand all the time, like I just have to be more prepared, which is like what I've come to. But anyway, all this is to say the only anxiety that I've had is not like, oh, I have to do this. It's like, oh, I have to do this in that like I have to be prepared. And it's a different kind of preparation than I've ever had. Like I literally, Sarah texted Erin, like, do you have tips? Like, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do for this mom brain because it's like, it feels very
Are you
real.
on like a supplement routine?
Girl,
like what supplements are you taking?
Sarah, I just went to Erin one yesterday and I spent $500 on supplements because I was like, I need like anything. I'm like, what can I do? I don't know what to do.
But I mean, what was the tip that I gave you? I said you
said
need
sleep, which I've been doing.
Oh, that's
like,
a great.
that's
That's a great tip, Erin.
No, Sarah, I'm telling you though, not everyone's willing to sleep train their baby. Some people are
sleep train the baby. I thought you meant you told Justine she should sleep.
No,
like,
I was saying that, but it's saying like you need to prioritize uninterrupted sleep for 8 hours because not all moms are getting that, and they think that they can just do it all. They're like, I can figure it out, but I'm telling you, it will change your life.
No, I would die. Yeah. I would die. She's sleeping. She's sleeping now from, knock on wood, because I feel like it changes, but she's sleeping from 7 to 6:30 in the morning, and I'm sleeping that long. So
good.
That's good.
Sadly, that's not the reason. I wish it was, because I'd be like, okay, we can take care of that. And I don't drink. I just don't drink as a person.
So I think you can really help with your focus and your energy with supplements. So we can sidebar about that because I'm not a doctor. I shouldn't give medical advice.
Sell yourself short, Sarah. I think you are a doctor.
Sometimes can I tell you the ones that I bought and you tell me if I'm missing something?
Yeah.
I got the lipospheric vitamin C.
I mean,
I got vitamin
that's
D.
Child's play, but yeah, keep going. Yeah. Keep going.
You're talking to someone who just
I
I don't take
Yeah.
supplements.
Okay, keep
I
going.
got vitamin D, the like other
Mhm.
one in the little pack. I
Mhm.
got vitamin D.
Mhm.
I got a probiotic.
Mhm.
I got apple cider vinegar pills. I don't
Okay.
know what else.
You need
Okay.
like omegas. You need like brain food.
Yeah. You definitely
So
need
like
zinc.
fish oil.
You need zinc. I mean, we can sidebar.
Okay. Well,
But that's a
maybe
great
this is
start.
good for your audience to know, though.
That's a great.
Yeah,
but
Sarah.
you have to be careful because I had a friend. I put her on this magnesium routine. By the way, magnesium's huge.
That's the other one. I got magnesium.
Yeah, you really got to be good with that. But one of my friends did sort of what I told her, and she was like, "I thought I had to go to the emergency room." So now I'm a little bit like, you know,
Oh.
and we're
so
not
you're
all
really
the-
not a doctor.
Yeah,
Great.
we're not. Yeah, no, we're not. We're not all this. We're not all the same. I had to work myself up to the amount of magnesium I take, and you got to work yourself up to it.
Okay, I'm doing like the
Right.
magnesium by Moon Juice. I'm just like putting it into like.
Okay, good,
Oh,
good.
I've used that stuff. It's pink, right?
Yeah,
It's got like a little flavor to
it's
it.
Really
it's like
delicious.
It's like a nighttime thing.
Yeah, it's sweet.
No, it's a different world, man. Like, isn't it crazy? You have a kid and you're like, what was my life before? My life had no meaning, right? Once you're a mom, you're like, what was my life even before? But I would imagine from season 1 to season 2, I can't imagine the
It's different. It's like
Yeah.
growing pains, but I just, I had similar, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, we've done 2 weeks. I'm learning what I need to learn. Like, it's like, does feel like, it feels like a good thing that this is all coming up and then I'm going to have to learn how to do it. And the good news is, and I felt this way last year too, was like, I do feel like it's like a very safe set to be running up against this stuff,
Well, I mean, because we were both pregnant last year and I was ahead of you. And so I think that, it's a very welcoming environment to dealing with this stuff.
But it's also a different time. You have to be. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to be. I mean, 10 years ago when you found out you were pregnant as an actress, you were like, oh, I could very well be fired. I could very well lose my job. I mean, I was on like a silly show that had no stakes really when I found out I was pregnant. And I was like, I didn't tell them for so long because I was like, I will 100% either be fired or they will totally just write me out. Now,
and did you, when you told them, did they behave how you thought they would?
No, they actually didn't. They were so nice and they wrote the pregnancy in, and which I never expected like that would actually happen. But that was sort of like an outlier 14 years ago, So now it's a great time, I think, to be in the industry as a mom because that is one of the very great things that have come out of, all the Me Too stuff. And you can't be an asshole anymore. And you can't treat women badly and moms badly. I mean, I think maybe you disagree.
No,
I've been trying to treat all the women badly and it's just not a good time to be doing that.
No,
so
I know.
I've stopped.
Good, Erin. That's good.
Yeah, no, I stopped. I want to do it, but I can't.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I feel this. I feel that you're right, Sarah.
Yeah.
I got to watch Sarah Snook on Succession do it. And that was really helpful to be like, okay, someone can be pregnant on a set and do incredible work and people can be supportive of it. And I think it was like an expander kind of situation in terms of like leading me in. Because it was only a year before that I like watched her do that. So like it helped me kind of feel like this is going to be okay. And the fact that Erin was pregnant also really helped.
Yeah.
And that Kristen is very
hot
pro
flash
baby.
that's happening to me right now.
Are you having
Wait,
one?
I'm having one too.
Oh my God.
Look.
It's like, you're having one too.
Yeah.
I'm literally sweaty and red. It's like post breastfeeding. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, when it hits,
You look glowy though. You look glowy. I was just listening to an interview with Ellen Pompeo and it made me like Shonda Rhimes so much more. Not that I even like really had an opinion about her before, but she was saying that.
Is this the Call Her Daddy one?
Yeah, I was like on YouTube. Valentina was watching on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh!" And it was so interesting. Did you listen to her talk about that part? Wasn't I was like, I love Shonda Rhimes. Like, I didn't really have an opinion about her before, but now I'm like obsessed with her.
I know the whole baby thing was amazing, and also her like the salary thing was amazing.
I know. Ellen Pompeo is a boss.
Yeah, she's got like. I met her at my hair salon once and I got that impression really quickly from her. Like she just feels like very self-assured and like she's got really strong opinions and she's very good at like feeling comfortable enough to to say them. Like,
But
I
you know what
love her.
I love what she said, Erin. She was at one point like the highest paid actress in TV. She was like, if you're using my namesake, it's Grey's Anatomy. My character is Meredith Grey. I should be paid the same amount as the blah, blah, blah. And she said the only reason that she felt okay asking for more because she felt totally fine walking away. She's like,
and also because she was like, I like found the data and I like went through all of it with my lawyers and like figured out how much I was making for them and like at all levels, like what they were taking in and like how much I had to do with that. And I was like, this is what I'm worth. So
yeah. I mean, Justine, don't get any ideas here, but you know.
Can you imagine? Next year I come in and I'm like, we had that talk about Ellen Pompeo. 20 mil, baby.
20 mil, baby.
Guys, Jenny and
psycho.
Bruce are texting me, asking me to get on a call. And I'm like, leave me alone. I'm on a podcast with Justine. And they said, fun, tell her we're texting you. I don't know why that's interesting, but they're texting me.
Tell them to get on. I feel like that would be way more exciting.
Oh my God. Okay, Justine, everyone wants to know how you got into character. Is that, I don't know, people like really, in my mind, I'm like, people know personal
Sarah,
stuff.
you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it because you don't think that my character has anything to do with you. But the way I got into character is by listening to you talk on the podcast every day.
I do want to hear it. Listen, at the end of the day, like, it's crazy. I might push against it, but then even like Ted is like, I mean, it's your voice. It's your exact voice. I'm like, but is it really? He's like, it's your exact voice.
You know, he told me that too. I feel like I feel like it is your voice, to be honest. But I don't think I have the same physicality as you. And I think that you're more put together than Morgan. I think Morgan's a little bit more like sloppy, at least from.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the way she talks and like the way that you move your hands, like I have like my nails like different than I normally do. And the way that you move your hands feels like very Morgan. Yeah.
I think you need to get your nails.
Look at that.
Oh my God, you guys.
Girl.
Oh
Challenge
my
accepted.
God. Oh my God. Okay. So tell us what you do. Like, what do you pull from Sara and put into Morgan?
I mean, I just listen to her voice on the podcast and then I like try and like find it. Like I try and find Sara.
Even the way you're doing this, I'm dying.
Yeah, no, I like,
so good.
I feel like and then I also like before my audition, I went through her Instagram and I like looked at everything she was wearing and I was like, okay, I've got to like find like the outfits. So I did, like the black turtleneck, high-waisted jeans, belt, boots. And I was like, this is Sarah Foster.
Oh my God. I love that you did that.
You didn't know this, Erin? Where have you been? Yes.
I didn't know that she was dressing like you in the audition. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have like still have screenshots on my phone of Sarah's Instagram. Because I was like, okay, this feels like, I mean, I just trusted the fact that like I read it and I heard her voice and then I listened to her voice and I was like, yep, that's the voice that I heard.
I mean, listen, you've obviously brought so much more to the character and all those things. But like at the end of the day, people love mine and Erin's banter. That is what people want. They want it. I don't know why, but they want it. And you and Kristen have managed to completely capture the cadence, the back and forth, the love hate. I mean, you guys are, I mean, you're worth every penny. You're worth every penny.
That's very sweet. It's really fun. It's really fun. I love the bantering parts. I love the fighting scenes too. I'm like, this is fun. Like I loved episode
108.
Was it 8? Yeah. I loved 108. And Kristen said it was her favorite scene to do too, because there's like something kind of like, there's just something so primal in like sisters fighting. And I'm not one of a sister, but I've had girlfriends that feel like sisters, especially like in my 20s, we would have like, I haven't had a huge blowout with a friend since I would say college, but when we had blowouts in college, like it just was so like visceral and primal and like satisfying that I don't know. I find it really fun when they fight.
So funny. That's one of my favorite scenes too.
It's fun.
And by the way, I didn't write that scene. I did not write that scene. Nikki Schwartzwright from season 1 wrote that scene and it was so good. And you know, every script I go through and I do my voice pass, right? So if it's not my script, I'm rewriting a scene or I'm touching up the scene or punching up the scene or making sure that it sounds like I want it to sound. And that was a scene that I barely touched at all because it was written so well.
It was really fun. It was really fun. There's something about women. It's because that women are both like women fighting each other. We're like so smart. Like women are smart. It's like different than a man and a woman fighting.
Totally.
It's like a different energy. And there's something like just really viscerally satisfying, even though it can also be like, I mean, that's the other thing about that scene. That scene was like so fun to do. And when I watched it, I was like kind of rocked by it. I was like, oh God, that made my stomach hurt. Like, it's also just like kind of devastating the way that women can fight each other. So yeah, I had fun with that.
No, it's so great.
Did you have any idea that people would respond to you and Sasha the way that they did? Everybody is like, we want the Sasha Morgan spinoff tomorrow.
No, I didn't. I knew that like I really love Tim and like I really love acting with Tim and we had a lot of fun, but I didn't know that people would like have such a like would root for them so hard, especially because like personally I was not. Like personally I was like, oh man, like I want them to be pals, but I'm like super scared of like what it means about these people if they like cross that line, especially when like children are involved. So I was kind of like, whoa, like this is wild how like people are just ready to like fuck with this family.
I know. And that was something we really went back and forth about last year was like how far to take it.
I know. And like what's going to happen? And is this like, if this is going to happen, how does it get there? And like,
I think you rode the line perfectly, honestly, because it's like there is sexual tension, so you're on the edge of your seat, but also no lines have ever been crossed. It's like you really do feel by the end like you guys have a deep brotherly sister love for each other.
Yeah, like brotherly sisterly with a little bit of sex.
Yeah, with a little bit of like not being fulfilled in your life, like
a very creepy brother sister relationship.
Yeah, like a Game of Thrones type.
Yes, exactly.
Where you're like, you're my brother, but also I would.
Yeah.
I felt it's so funny when we were shooting that scene. I was like, I feel like there's like. We like did the flirting thing, like the whole, like there was like that last scene at the party and we're like talking while we like, and we share the sip. And after we wrapped the scene, cause they were like lean into like the flirtation. And like, I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And then after we like cut, Tim was like, so like, do you think you're very good at flirting? And like, he meant it like so earnestly, but I was like, are you trying to tell me something?
Oh, that's really funny.
Rude, Tim. Rude.
Well, when we were trying to figure out how, and that scene changed so many times, but for the finale of season 1, we were trying to figure out what Esther could see Sasha and Morgan do together that wasn't overtly sexual, but was like a huge red flag of intimacy. And I was like, honestly, if she takes a sip of his drink, to me, that feels like if I saw a woman taking like drinking Simon's drink and he wasn't reacting to it like it was weird, I would be like, that feels really intimate. And that's what we decided was going to be like a tipping point. I don't know if we used it necessarily the way that we had scripted it originally to be, but I just remember thinking that would be like a big tell.
It's funny because I feel like pre-shooting that scene and knowing that that was like how you felt about it, I would be the person who's like, can I have a sip of that? To people. And then like since I did that scene, I literally like think of that when I like have the instinct to like ask someone for like a sip.
I mean,
or,
it
like,
depends on the relationship, right? Like if I'm with Jamie and Nico and I've been friends with Nico for 20 years, I'm going to take a sip of his drink and it's not going to mean anything. But those characters, it would be like, how do they even know each other?
Totally. If I saw like a hot girl asking Tyson to like take a sip, or even like just like a mediocre looking girl, I feel like I'm going to take you by I'm going to drag you by the hair into the ocean.
I'm excited to talk about Sollis Health, and I know you are too.
I am. You know what? So I've been having crazy hot flashes and someone at work was like, you really need to like get your blood taken. So I texted my doctor, but she had like all these annoying hours of when I could go in to get my blood drawn. And I said to her, guess what, babe? I'm going to go to Sollis tomorrow morning. I'll have them draw my blood. It's so easy. They're open 24/7. There's never a line. I can always get right in. And then you just have that blood sent to whatever lab you want, but I'll be at Sollis.
Well, I can tell you what that blood's going to say. Menopause.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm sure Sollis has a really wonderful menopause system.
Here's what we do say when we're talking to you guys about Sollis. This is the area where you should prioritize. This is the area
you want to spend.
This is where you want to spend. This is concierge, 24-hour a day, 7-day a week, care.
Mhm.
It's the insurance that we all
By the way,
need.
spend on something like this where you have a flat rate that you're paying and you can bother them as much as you want. You're a hypochondriac, you want to go in there every day? Go in there every day. They're
Yeah.
there. They're ready. They're waiting for you. They're open 24 hours a day. You panic attack at 6 a.m., get in there. They are there for you.
It's unfortunate that the emergency room experience is so terrible. So companies like Sollis, you can bypass the emergency room. Anything you think you might need to go to the emergency room that is not obviously catastrophic, you go to Sollis for.
By the way, for the first time ever, your LA Solace membership can include 24-hour emergency care and pediatrics under the same roof with Solace's new Family Plus membership. So your children can visit the Solace pediatrician for well visits, vaccines, camp forms, and any questions that you want answered day or night, aka when you're up all night, so is your pediatrician.
We can't say enough good things about it.
So join Solace Health, the first and only medical membership that's on demand 24/7 and save 15% on your first year of the membership when you use the promo code Foster Sisters. Very easy to talk about Needed because A, I used it throughout pregnancy. B, I still use it. C, my doula endorses Needed. D, my sister Jordan, who's pregnant, just got recommendations from me for a bunch of Needed products. I should probably give her our code because Needed products are amazing. I love them.
I think there's so many companies that are pushing supplements but there's something about Needed that people really trust. And I think because
I think it's probably because I promoted them so much, honestly.
you definitely did help. But Needed is just when something is really good and effective, people talk. Good things rise to the top, and everyone is talking about Needed.
And it just feels like they're doing it differently. So, they have a starter plan and it's a comprehensive prenatal multi, which is bioavailable to your body, which is very important, by the way. It's also paired with the sustainably sourced omega-3s. Okay, so these are two of their essential products. The prenatal multi and the omega-3 has DHA and EPA. They're designed to meet the mother and baby's optimal micronutrient needs. So you can get the prenatal multi in either a powder, so you can put it in your smoothie, or in capsules, which is more traditional. And that's like the little starter kit. And we talk about this. I like it when someone simplifies the process.
Yeah. Also, we talk so much about the prenatal, but you're depleted in a whole new way postnatal. And so you still need even more nutrients, I would say, post because, of the dip.
It's true. Also, really scary fact here, up to 95%, that's basically everyone, of mothers are not meeting their omega-3 needs. So that's what is the source for fetal development, hormonal and mood balance, postpartum recovery, healthy breast milk, healthy inflammatory response, all of it. So head over to thisisneeded.com and use the code Foster for 20% off your first order. That is THISISNEEDED.com and use the code Foster for 20% off your first order. Okay, we just found our newest protein obsession. It's Clean Simple Eats Clear Protein. Sara and I are very serious about our protein because we are both bodybuilders. We both go to the gym and we work out with weights. I have recently been doing that. And I use 5-pounders, which I think is really going to get my muscle mass up there. And so it's really important. My trainer always says to me, when you leave here, I need you to go eat like 400 grams of protein. Like that's all I need you to do. So
it's also important to make sure you're, there's a lot of protein powders out there. A clean one is important. All I needed to hear a couple years ago was when you're low on protein, that is not good for longevity. Protein is anti-aging. It's all I needed to hear.
And the Clear Protein, it's a grass-fed whey protein isolate that's ultra-filtered, making it low in lactose and easy in digestion. It's female-founded. It's female-owned. It comes in a can. So if you love canned beverages like everyone else does, then this is for you. The CSE's Clear Protein is the perfect drink to have on hand. You can put it over ice. Mine's in my little mini fridge right now, and I just kind of like drink it after out of the gym. I can't believe that these drinks have literally 20 grams of protein because it tastes like a sweet, delicious juice instead of, like a heavy milky shake. So visit cleansimpleeats.com and use the code FOSTER20 at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's cleansimpleeats.com and the code is FOSTER20 for 20% off your first order.
Okay, I want to know, it's not, people also ask this, but I also am curious. How has your life changed? Obviously, you've been part of many successful shows and whatever, but how has your life changed with the success of this show, if at all?
I feel like LA is kind of one of those places where everybody knows, like everybody sees people all the time. And so it's like not really like, I'm not like dealing with weird stuff at all in the day to day. I don't feel, it's funny because Adam and Tim were like, we were in a conversation at the Y about this, and they were like, yeah, people stop me all day long. And I was like, I don't know what it is about me, but nobody said anything to me. I was like, yeah, I don't have that problem at all. I would say like the thing that changed the most was just like all these like events and PR stuff that we had to do, where I was like, I'm just like not a party person. I'm like way more comfortable at home in my house with my like husband and my baby, or like my friends. And like my PR team is like amazing and did a really great job, but I just like, that is exhausting. And it made me be like, wow, like I feel for like Nicole Kidman going to the Golden Globes 20 times. Like it's like, it feels fun and exciting. And like, I'm so grateful to have done that. But like, then to do it like over and over and over again, like I went to 7 of these like award things this year. And I was like, 7, like AFI, the Critics' Choice, the Golden Globes, the DGAs, the WGAs, the, you know, like every, it was just a lot. So
And
I feel like that's the way it's changed.
but you went in like Prada, like you were like lighting up the best dress list. I mean, you were chic, which is definitely not very Sarah Foster. I like to go slutty and sexy.
You were like, you need to show a little more waist.
Yeah, you wore something one. It was very fashionable, but I was like,
Sarah's like,
Justine,
this is not the representation that I want for yourself.
I was like, Justine, this is like does not need to be lined. This is like double lined. Like, what's going on?
That was a Versace tuxedo dress. Which,
yeah. I was like, a little leg. I was like, I'd like to see just a little bit. I just like to see a little bit.
But yeah, that's an interesting. Like Morgan's style is so different than Sarah's style in the show.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's very different than my style too. It's like crazy.
It is?
Oh my God. I wear like a t-shirt and jeans all the time. And then like you guys are having me put in these like little tiny, like literally no pants, like, like skin tight shit. And I'm like, girl, I am 6 months postpartum. Like, I don't know about this yet.
I know. We really didn't factor that in because you look so great that we were just like, she'll look great in it. And you did. But I think that there's something about Morgan that we just like to have fun with her. Like we like to give her fun wardrobe. We like to give her like ridiculous things to do because you play her very free spirited. And so she's someone that we like to take risks with.
I love it. And I also, again, I'm going to sound like a little actory, but I think that there's something to like every character that you have gives you like a little bit of something to take with you as a person. And I felt like Morgan last season, like I was pregnant, I was like growing every week on screen. I was like, I remember at our table read, you like said something like, you were like, and thank God I'm behind the camera when you were like, because you were pregnant and you were growing. And I was like sitting there eating a bagel being like, oh my God, I'm going to be in front of this camera, like growing. But Morgan, like, this is going to sound woo woo or whatever, but like there's something about playing her that like gave me like a carefreeness to like, you know, I feel like through my 20s, I like tried really hard to control like what I looked like in front of a camera. And it's like the death of acting, honestly, to be like trying to control your looks or thinking about your looks. Yes. But especially self-conscious about how you look. Like it's one thing to be in your head in terms of like, am I here? Am I doing it? Am I good enough? Like that. I think it's going to just be the case forever. But I think there's something about like worrying about like looking good that was like very, very present in my 20s. And I like tried to like kind of release as like an adult woman who's just like tired of that kind of like thinking. And I do think that like, you know, 20-year-old me, had I gotten pregnant and had to shoot a show, would have been like neurotic and like thinking about that all the time. And I think that Morgan like helped me like also just release that and be like, this is my body no matter what. This is my face no matter what. Like I'm carefree. I'm like, she's like just like confident and fun and like lively. And it's just like so not about like, it's funny because she's curated and she like puts herself together and she likes looking good, but she also like doesn't give a fuck. And that's kind of like an awesome dichotomy to have in a person. And that I will also say, I do feel like, Sarah, you have a little bit of that. Like you're a very beautiful woman, but it also, and I do feel like you have like a relationship to your vanity, but you also are like kind of unbridled and like whatever about certain things. And that's interesting to me. So
Yeah,
anyway,
it's taken me a long time to get there, by the way. I really am in my era of like, I mean, by the way, of course I care. You know what I mean? I care what people think of me still, and I don't want to like look bad, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't care. And I think it's taken me so long to get to that place because I'm finally secure in who I am and what I'm doing. I mean, I think for so many years I was like, who am I? Like, what am I? Like, what's my identity? So I guess all that I can control is how I look, because that'll give me confidence, or that'll validate me. But now because I have other things to validate me, I don't put so much pressure on that. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, I was thinking that the other day. I was like, I really don't think it's performative when I say I don't give a fuck. Like, I really don't think I give a
Morgan and Sarah have a bit of an unapologetic energy that you're talking about, Justine.
Yes.
It's like,
and I think it's like a gift that I've gotten from it, where it's like, okay, like, yeah, I'm going to wear this thing and like, whatever. Like, I can't control how it looks. And after I'm done with it, I'll like look at a photo and be like, okay, moving on. Like, I don't want to look at that again. But like, while I'm in it, I'm like, it's kind of awesome to just be like, that's not where my brain is.
But Erin, you have a little bit of that too. You're kind of like that too.
Yeah, we have it in different areas. I tend to I've let go of a lot of my vanity. I mean, not all of it, but like a lot of it. My 20s, I was so self-conscious. And now I just I don't know. I don't feel, I think maybe when we're younger, and we're more insecure, it's like, I thought that it was so important to be hot. Like, I just felt like that was so important, that that's how people like you. That's how people want to be around you. That's how guys are going to like you. I just felt like there was so much pressure and emphasis on that. And I think sitting here as an adult woman who's past that phase of life, I know now that being attractive as a friend, as a person, someone to work with, it's so much about this like wheelhouse of all these different qualities, like how you treat people, your sense of humor, if you can laugh at yourself, how seriously you take yourself, what you can bring to a conversation, how you can be, accountable for your behavior, and all these different things make up how people experience you, and how you look is one spoke on the wheel. And I just used to think it was so much more.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like my relationship has also really helped that. I'm sure Simon's like part of that as well. It's like, there's something to like being with a person where I don't think like not once has he like referred to like me being hot. Like, I don't like, there was a time where I was like, can you just call me hot? Like a little bit more. Cause like, I feel like so much of what he was interested in was just not that. Like, it was like, there was like a lot of emphasis on like the other qualities of me that he like appreciated and like loved and was like attracted to. And it's like, I don't know, to be like with a mature person who sees those things in you, I think it also like helps you kind of
You're
just
like, it's so annoying. My man loves me for my personality and who I am. It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Can we say that I'm sexy like just a little bit more? But I do think that there's like something kind of like really, I don't know. It's just healing. There's something healing about being with someone who like really sees what you have to offer, and that's not it. And especially when you're like, I'm doing this for life with this person, because you're, things like those attributes are just, I mean, even now, I feel like when I first started dating him, like that was like a huge part of like, I was like, this is like the most beautiful. I was like so attracted to him. And now it's like kind of a weird thing, like 3 years in, where it's like, I just don't see, like, I see that he's like objectively, I like see it. I know I can clock into that, but it's like, I see him as a person.
I don't see him as a person. He's very
That's fair.
He's
That's fair.
very good looking.
You only see the shell of his vanity.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Like,
it took me a while to get past. I know. I mean, I know. I like objectively, I know. I'm like, when I met him, I was like, well, this is the mountaintop. If it doesn't work out with him, I don't know what we're going to do from here, because like it was truly like my like exact like what I was.
Oh, did you manifest? Wait, did you manifest him? Did you know? Like, did you know what you were looking?
I feel embarrassed saying this, but I did.
Why are
you the way that you guys,
but I just like, I made a list, which is like so nerdy, but I made a list of like exactly what I wanted. And I did the whole thing where it's like, okay, these are the list of the things that you're interested in, but like how many of these are like actual deal breakers? Like, what do you actually need out of this list? Like narrow it down. Like, do you actually need that? Do you actually need that? And I did that. And
wait, this is what our audience wants to hear. You got to rewind for a second. This is our audience. Okay. They're big manifestors. They are big in finding their person.
Yeah.
And I am big in pen to paper. So you pen to papered.
So talk about what you wrote down and what inspired you to do that, and then talk about how you met.
okay. So, I mean, I know that I wrote down like, I want someone kind. I want someone funny. I want someone who feels like home to me, like that I feel comfortable with. I want someone who is honest. I want someone who's artistic. Like I wanted someone who had an artistic sensibility or at least understood it. I wanted
Which,
someone,
FYI, for people, he's an artist. Continue.
he's a visual artist. Yeah. I wanted someone who like had, what were the other things that I really wanted? I don't know. There were like, it was a long list.
And would you look at the list a lot? So you wrote the list, and then how often would you look at it?
Well, just to finish the list thing. So I did the list and then I was like, do I need, like, there were things on there that I was like, do I actually need this? And like, I went through and like rigorously went through them. I was like, is this like just like my, like my programming, or is this like what I actually like need in a relationship? And I like narrowed it down. So like, let's say there's a girl who's like, I need someone who's 6'3" or taller. Like think through, like, do you actually need that? Or like, I need someone who makes this much money. Like think through, like, do you actually need that? Like, or is that just something like, and if you do, you do. But like, I just think that you can kind of like question your list.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I can't
narrowed it
stand when
down.
girls put height on their list. It's like, who gives a shit how tall your husband is?
I can
Like,
be with
take-
someone short. I couldn't do it.
I think saying like, instead of saying like this height or not this height or whatever, I think saying like someone that I feel like sexually like attracted to, or I feel like I have like a good like or that there's like good physical connection, or like I feel feminine in a way that like makes me feel like that side of me is like
That's
fostered.
a way better way to say it, because there could be a
Yes.
guy that is 6'4" and has nothing to do with their height, that you're not attracted to them.
Of
You know, like
course.
it's such a small
Yeah.
thing. Okay, but that's a
But
great
I
way
think
to say
like
it.
broadening that, because it's so specific. Like you don't know how you're going to feel with like every single bracket. I think it's one thing to be like, okay, I'm 5'9" and I don't want to date someone who's 5'2", not because they're not like
5'2".
beautiful, but just because it makes me feel like I've done it. I've done someone who's 5'2".
You dated-
5'2".
Wait, was it a girl or a guy?
Yes, you know them, Erin.
Oh, yes, I know. Okay, so you're saying, so like a drastic height difference, it makes you feel big.
Yeah, it's just like not exactly like, it doesn't like, I think that there's something like about like being with someone that's like even my height, like where I just feel like I can like, I don't know,
wanna
it
feel
just like,
small
brings out
next
my
to them.
feminine a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Or just like that there's like a good, like there's like a masculine feminine. But then again, there's so many women who are like with like shorter men and it works for them. So I think it's like really just a matter
I
of
think you
taste.
hit the nail on the head. If you manifest how you want to feel, then maybe that guy that's like 5'7" is going to make you feel like a damn queen and is going to
100%.
satisfy all your needs. So fuck
Short
it.
king.
Just, yeah.
Short king.
Totally. And
Okay,
that can be a
so-
surprise.
So then
You know,
take
you
us
can surprise
to-
yourself.
Take us to meeting Tyson and all the things that you were looking for.
Okay, so the way that I met him was that I was looking for someone to draw a picture of my dog to give to my dad.
No, stop.
Mm-hmm. And my dog I've had since I was like 22. She's like my first like baby, literally. Like she's like, you know how you have like one pet that's like your like,
We don't
she's
know,
like,
but we know
don't
we've
know.
heard people say this.
okay, I've gone through like my entire 20, like she was like the thing that like let me learn how to like be outside of my, like, care about something outside of myself, like for sure. And I was like, anyway,
like
so
how
there's
Rolex,
something like,
this is like Rolex with me, Erin.
Sarah's horse. Yeah.
oh my God, I thought you were talking about your watch. I was like, oh no, Sarah. Okay, Sarah.
No, my
We'll
horse.
just keep on going.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it is.
Sure.
It's like there's something
Sarah's
to
horse
like,
Rolex.
yeah, totally.
She died, by the way, so show a little respect, Erin. Thank
Okay.
you. She's no longer with us.
No, but I think that's what it is. It's like the same thing. It's like you're taking care of a creature outside of yourself, which is an important lesson to learn. Anyway, so like I was like asking friends about who could do it, and this one friend of mine was like, you could use this girl or hit this guy and he's really good and she's really good. And I looked at his and I was like, oh, he's really good. I didn't think about like him being, wait, there's a juicy part of this that the other thing about this is that months before this, when I was in a prior relationship, one of my friends pulled up her Hinge and she was like, I'm going on a date with this guy. And that's another one where I'm like, I have a screenshot in my brain and I was like, whoa, that guy's hot. I had a boyfriend at the time, but I was like, go, go, go. Like, have fun. Like, that guy's fucking hot. And I remember like,
wait, so your friend went out with him?
So my friend went on a coffee date. Nothing ever happened. Like I guess like wasn't what happened sadly. And he said that this is like one of the only times he's ever done it, but he just like didn't write back like after the date. Like it just didn't go forward.
Are you still friends with this girl?
So just wait. So anyway, so like I like hire him to do this thing. I recognized him. I didn't like really put it together. And then I was like, oh, I put it together, but I'd already asked him to draw this thing. Time goes by, months go by. By the way, as this is all happening, that old friend is in a new relationship with someone that she's in love with.
Okay.
So anyway, basically what happens is like he reaches out and he's like, are you in LA? I'm like done with this thing. And he doesn't do commissions. That's the other part of this. That's like kind of cool to know is that he like just was like, I'll do this thing for this girl, but he does not normally something that he does. But he was like, are you here? And I was like, no, I'm shooting in New York because I was shooting Succession. I was like, I'll be home in like a month though. And then he kind of just kept on like, the conversation just kept on going. And then we started like sending each other voice notes. And then we started like doing phone calls and we started FaceTiming. So like for a full like month and a half, we like every day would talk to each other for like hours. And then finally, I think like I like I like said I made a joke about him asking me out. And then like a couple days later, he was like, can I take you on a date when you get home?
Oh, I have butterflies just like hearing about it.
Yeah. And then we went out to dinner at Pache when we got back.
Great first date spot.
It was really good. He picked it. And then
many
like
first dates there that didn't end up in good relationships. Go on.
Really? And then it was just like, yeah, we just have been together since then. But a week into us seeing each other, I like was talking to my friend and I was like, hey, I just like, this might be a little bit awkward, but I just want to let you know that I like have gone on a couple dates with Tyson. And like, I know that you guys went on that one date and like, I just want to like be upfront about it and like see how you feel about it. Like fully expecting her to be like, oh, like
who cares? Right.
Yeah. Like they went on one coffee date and nothing happened. She like went ballistic on me, like lost it on me. And she was like, I can't believe that you would like ruin our friendship just to have another fucking notch in your belt. Like, cause I was dating, I was like out of an engagement. So I was like dating and she was like, kind of like called out that she was like, just like another guy that you want to fuck. That's what she said. Just another guy you want to fuck. And she was like, you're sneaky. And like, it was really bad. It was really, really bad. And at that point I kind of was like, I don't know, like if I want to salvage this. Yeah. I was like, I feel like I've seen to the bottom of the well and like, this is kind of like psycho. Like, I just like, it was just so insane that I was like,
so crazy to have that kind of claim on someone that you've never even kissed.
It's so like third grade. It's so third grade. That's crazy.
I know. I've literally set up my friends with guys that I've like fully dated, like that I'm like, you know what? It's not us. So like you should for sure, or not set them up, but like given my blessing and been like, what, like, it's not him for me. So like, why?
Right. So why would you want to stake your claim on that person?
It sounds to me like your friend had some pent up resentment towards you about a million other things. Like who knows what that was? Your success.
Or maybe she was really sprung on Tyson and she
after
like felt really burned. Date? I don't know. Sometimes like a rejection can really stick to you. I said
that. She was like, I really liked him. And I was like, I respect that. But also like, you didn't like know, like you don't know him. Like I don't know him. Like we don't know him yet. Like, but it was yeah. Anyway, he was so bothered by the whole thing that, and like the fact that she said like just some guy you want to fuck like stuck with him so badly that when we had the baby, he was like, I want to send her like the ultrasound.
Oh like, my god!
I like want to just like pop in like a year, like that was like 2 years later, and just be like, by the way, not another like notch in the belt. It's actually my baby daddy. So
well, and now you're married.
And now we're married.
You guys had a little. You know that, Sarah, that they had a little a little courthouse wedding.
Yeah, I sent her a wedding gift. Hello.
I know.
Yeah, you guys sent me an amazing wedding gift.
But can I just say, I'm really surprised, and let's talk about your wedding in a second, but I'm really surprised that that she has not come around. Because normally you have like a come to Jesus where you're like, oh my
but when
God.
when the relationship sticks like this, you almost have to double down on your behavior. Like it's too much. I would be like, okay, I just got to pretend like I was right the whole time because this is, you guys really took it all the way to the end.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. She never reached out even like once. And I kind of was like, there was another part of it, which is that the way that we became friends was through my ex. And so I kind of was like, like, I feel like with really close girlfriends that are like my close girlfriends, I could work through like crazy shit. And with her, it was kind of like, well, maybe this is like the universe's way of like us being like, we just need clean, like your friends.
The friendship
with my
is
ex.
over.
You know, we talk so much about breakups with men, but like the truth is a lot of female friendships need breakups. You know, they're not all meant to stay.
Absolutely.
Totally.
It's
and
so
also,
interesting.
They're incredibly painful. I feel like some of my like most painful breakups have been with my friends with.
We have multiple episodes on female friendships and breaking up with them, and it is sometimes more painful than the breakup with a boyfriend.
Okay, This is really funny and back to being superficial, but people are obsessed with your hair.
Okay, I knew for some reason I was like, someone's going to say something about my hair.
No, people are obsessed with your hair. They are like, how does she do her hair? It's always perfect.
The color.
What's your like routine? Where do you get your color? Like, I don't know. They just really obsessed with your hair. And it does always look good. And you're very specific about your hair. Because I remember early on, I had said something in like the hair and makeup chat, like we get sent all the photos or whatever. And I had said something like, oh, have her wear it half up or something like that. And they were like, Justine doesn't really want to do that. I was like, oh, she's very specific about what you like.
So to answer all the questions, the first one, which you just left off on, I just cannot have my hair doing what you're doing right now.
Why?
It just doesn't.
For the audience listening, my hair is pulled back in a slick bun.
Yeah. I feel like I think that there's been so much trial and error around it where like people will be like, it's the same thing with like people putting dark eyeliner under my eyes. Like it's just like something that people have tried a lot and then they'll be like, ooh, no, like that just doesn't work on your face. And it's like the same thing with like hair slicked back or like pulled back. I just have like a very like round, moony face and like it just doesn't work. I've had so many people try it and they'll be like,
you were right.
Yeah, totally. I mean, honestly, it didn't even come out of a you were right. It's like people being like, ooh, actually, like, let's do something
now
different.
I'm like obsessed with seeing your hair pulled back.
I mean, I can do it.
Yeah, do it.
It's just like, I have like a very...
I like how it looks.
Oh, I like it too. By the way, you look 12 years old. You look 12
I think maybe that's
old.
Wait, I love seeing your hair off your face.
God,
this is so sad. I think I'm going to have to make you do it.
I mean, if you really want to do it, we'll do it. Let's do it.
Wait, it looks gorgeous. You
no,
look
that's
like a
so
teenager.
mean for me to do something that you like hate with your hair. But I think it looks great.
No.
Wait, what about to the
people
side?
have told me.
What about to the side?
Like yours?
Yeah, like mine.
Oh, that looks really good. Wait, you do that sometimes, don't you?
Wait, that looks so good.
I do I do it myself at home, but I've never really done it. I get my hair done by Tracy Cunningham at
she's
Mesh.
famous.
She's very, very good. I think she's like pretty great at being like, okay, what is the color within this like scheme that will be the best for your face? So she's great. And then in terms of like styling it when I'm not working, I used to straighten my hair every day, which is fucking psycho. And like
crazy.
I know.
It's really such good
weird.
waves.
Totally. Everybody would be like, you should like not do that to your hair. Like, it's so good when you're just like, when it's just like not styled. And for some reason in my head, I thought it made me like look goofy, you know, like there was like a part of me where I was like, it's so like, there's something about like the like waviness that felt like a little like zany or something. And now it feels like one of those things where it's like, it was just like exposure therapy that needed to happen. And now I like can't, like the idea of straightening my hair. I'm like, I can't do it. But my hair person, like the woman who styles my hair is named Barb. She's very, very good. I don't cut my hair. I don't put stuff in my hair. The only like kind of like treatment that I ever do is this like ROZ, Rose.
Wait, I've been using this stuff. I'm obsessed with the cream.
It's incredible. It's crazy. It's like everything that they do is great. I haven't done the cream. I've only done their shampoo, their conditioner, and then they have a thing called like willow oil or something like that. I'll have to like look it up. But it's like
this is
like
very
treat.
like me. You don't cut your hair. You don't do anything to it. It's very like me.
Don't
I haven't
style it.
cut my hair. The only time I ever cut my hair is when like someone on set is like, we need to like trim it, and I'll
Same.
like let them like dust it. But I just don't
Same.
do
I
anything.
It's really long this year. It looks really healthy too. So you're not losing any
Thank
hair
you.
from not breastfeeding or anything.
No, not yet.
Wow.
Not yet.
Good for
Someone
you.
said, Justine, do you ever get starstruck? And if so, who makes you starstruck?
Ooh. I got starstruck. I did a play that Philip Seymour Hoffman directed when I was younger, and I was like so starstruck, and it was like it never ended. I was just so like A, starstruck, and B, like in love with him, and like just kind of like really like it was a tough one. It was like a tough like time and a hard play, and I was just so like plugged into his feelings. Like I was just so like obsessed with him. So I feel like that was when
Wait, you
when I saw him, I
guys-
was like,
He passed away, right?
oh yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that just such a trip that Philip Seymour
No,
Hoffman
it's
is?
totally it's totally hard to wrap my mind around even now, like because he was such a big like I'm sure all of his friends or anyone who knows him could say this, like he's such a big like personality, like he's such a big person, he feels like so full, and he's like there's so much like life going on that like it's really 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 hard for me to wrap my mind around the fact that he's gone. Like I'm like, oh, that just doesn't make sense because he's like so alive. It just for a really long time I was like, no. Like it was just I couldn't really.
You know what? I think you would. This just made me think of. I'm gonna just pivot really fast, but you would have been amazing on SNL, like as an SNL like regular. I feel like
thank you.
with your comedic and dramatic, like I could have totally seen you as like a Kristen Wiig, like couldn't you, Erin, see her as?
Yeah, but you don't need dramatic chops to be on SNL.
Well, you need all of it. I don't know. I mean, you need.
I mean, thank you. I would love. I want to be on it one day. I feel like the culture of SNL would like break me. From what I've heard it's like very tough. Like the dynamics. Like I don't know. There's like a higher from what I've read and what I've heard.
Wait a second. I'm looking at these questions. Someone says she was iconic in Younger. That's all, no question. I didn't know you were in Younger. I watched Younger. Who the hell were you in Younger?
I played a woman named Jade that was based off of that woman named Kat something who was like an Adderall, like she did Adderall like publicly, like Kat. What was her last name? There was like this like fashion influencer woman named like Kat something. And I can't remember, but it was like I played this like really crazy like influencer girl who's like kind of like druggy Adderall addicted like chick that like came in and like wrote a book and like pitched it to them, and it was a wild part.
Interesting. Kat Marnell, Montana's saying. Kat Marnell.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay, I need to look at this up.
I was 24 when I did it, and it's truly, I mean, like when you were talking about how like you were bad when you were younger and like it like humiliated you or whatever, I literally, Jenny texted me being like, I'm watching Younger, and I saw it and I was like, please never write me about that ever again. I can't. It's so
you're not proud of your acting, you mean?
So bad. I was 24. I was like, it was so bad. It was like really out there, and also I was like little, and like I just was, it was bad. It was really bad. But
okay,
go on and watch it.
Okay.
Did not Skinny Not Fat ask you like way more fun questions? I feel like she's so much more fun than us.
She's more fun than us.
What did she ask you? Give us some ideas of what she asked you.
I mean, a lot of it was like about motherhood and like breastfeeding.
Oh, that's boring. Okay, so then
I mean, I find that interesting, but Sarah says I'm not allowed to talk about it anymore.
I'm having fun. No, I think this is good.
Thank you. I thought we did pretty well. I feel like we're rounding out. We did over an hour. We're in a good place. And
did we feel like journalists in this episode? Because I'm really trying to be more of a journalist.
Did you ask any of the hard hitting questions that you wanted to ask, Sarah?
Yeah.
Do you have any really hard hitting questions?
Also, why is Sarah trying to be a journalist, quote unquote? That's not really our vibe.
I know, but I'm just trying to. I think that. It's like the chicken or the egg first when it comes to having a good podcast, when it comes to having guests on, right? It's like you need to make guests somewhat feel uncomfortable to then get a lot of views. And then if you get a lot of views, No, if you ask really hard questions,
Well, do you
that's what-
have any hard questions that you wish you had asked if you wanted to make me uncomfortable? Or if you didn't want to
make
make
her
me uncomfortable?
No,
Make
I
me
can't.
uncomfortable.
No. Oh my God.
You need to get better at this, it
I know.
sounds like.
I agree.
By the way, I really do, because it's that hard thing. People want to listen to uncomfortable conversations.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, I think that what you're saying is like they want like the burning questions that you, but there's nothing really controversial about Justine.
Maybe there is, though. Maybe there is.
I know I don't have any edge. I have no edge, and
No,
I've got
Tell
no
us a
mystery.
secret. Tell us a
You do.
secret you've never told anybody.
Tell us something like a story we could like sell to TMZ or something to like make this podcast stand out.
Like any celebrity you've hooked up with in the past. That's
Oh,
something not
great.
skinny, not that would
Sarah,
ask. Yeah.
great question.
Yeah.
Justine, tell
Wow,
us.
that actually does make me uncomfortable.
See, knew we could do it.
Someone,
I mean, can I say? What if I say a name and then you guys like bleep it out?
Great.
Okay.
Unless you decide that you want to, but it would not go over well. I dated.
Justine, I don't think we can bleep it. Sorry, we need we need ratings. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I think you have to.
Oh my God.
I think you kind of have to.
Wait,
you kind of
that's
have
a
to, because like
good
the other part of
one.
it was that he wasn't single, and I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's
this
okay.
is juice.
It's
See,
juicy.
we gotta tell the
I
story.
know.
We have to tell the
Honestly,
story, Justine.
I've
I'm
done
sorry.
that
I can't tell
too.
the story.
I've done that too. Don't worry, girl. It's okay.
Well, the thing is he like fully like. I mean, we can
Lied
like.
to you. Yeah.
He like
made you
fully
think
like
he was
like a sociopath. Like he's like lovely. He's like great, but like I don't know how he pulled it off. But he was like, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just so innocent that I'm like, I don't know how he pulled it off, but he fully like convinced me that they were like separated and not together, and it was over.
Wait,
and now,
Justine, is he still like married to this person?
Yeah.
Oh
They weren't married at the time. They were like young.
my
They were young.
God.
Wait, but does she know about you or no?
Oh yeah, she
Okay.
found out.
So this is wait, okay, Justine. I mean, we are the same person.
You can't use his name, but we can keep on
Never.
talking about that.
Okay.
But
This
we
is so
are
fun.
the same person. There is a woman out there, a very famous woman, who to this day, 20.
Wait, you have to tell me now.
I will. 25 years later, fucking still talks shit about me, hates me, even though he was like, oh no, we're done. What am I supposed to do? Be like, oh, well, let me do some due diligence. Like, I'm trusting you.
Let's be real, Sarah. You knew they were together.
No, Aaron, I
Yeah,
did.
You do.
I
you
knew-
do. Sarah, you knew. But you were young. You were young and dumb.
But he
You're young
was
and
also,
dumb.
he's like, it's over. Like, we're done, you know?
Yeah, totally. That's exactly what happened with me. And then
Mhm.
I got a phone call from an unknown number, and I didn't pick up. I didn't see it, and then he called me and was like, "If you see
Don't
a
answer that number.
don't answer it." And then I knew after all this.
What?
And
Okay, wait, hold on. That'll be a tell.
That'll give it away.
That'll give it
that'll
away.
be a tell. So
You
cut
guys,
that part.
I'm a hard-hitting journalist. Look at this. Look what we're
I know,
getting.
you got it.
Sarah,
You got
you're
it. You
you're
got
doing
it.
the edit in real time, Sarah. Look at you go.
Wait,
You
Okay,
got it.
guys. This
wait,
was
hold
an
on. We'll
amazing.
edit
oh,
that out. But what happened when you then saw each
Um,
other again?
It was like weirdly okay, but at the end of the night, he was like, "Hey, could I have your number?" Blank deleted it from my phone, and I was like, "No."
Oh my. Oh, okay. So this guy is really looking for trouble.
Yeah, and then I've heard like from like 3 other actresses that there's been like similar like behavior.
Oh, shit.
So I think it's just like I think it's over now because this is like a very long ago story. This is from when I was like in my early 20s, but
Wow. Well,
But yeah,
I'm
for a
so
while
glad, Sarah, that you asked this question. I'm so glad that you made our guest
I don't know if it
uncomfortable.
will. I don't know if it will like hold up for people listening who don't know who we're talking about.
No,
but
I
if
think
you
it's still
hear-
fun.
Honestly, and just another similarity between you and I. I mean, it's really
Here we are.
art
we are.
imitating life.
Wait, but here's my question: you're friends with that guy now, right?
Yeah. Him and I have always been great. Love him.
Yeah.
And by the
Yeah.
way, she's fine with him too, but she fucking hates me. I'm like, I didn't even know you. Like, what?
It's a weird one how the girls. I mean, I get it because in my mind, I'm like, if I like put myself in their shoes, and I'm like, if Tyson cheated on me with a girl, I think that like my rage, I think would go
Towards her.
to both of them. Actually,
Yeah.
actually, to both of them.
All right. Well, Justine, that was a great juicy ending. And Justine, I guess I'm going to see you tomorrow morning at like 7 a.m.
5:25 is my call time.
Ooh, okay. I will not
Were you
be
gonna go to
seeing
bed
you
at
at
You'll
5:20.
be there. I think you'll be there at 7:30 then.
I'll be there at 7. That's my call time is 7. And are you're the first scene up, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you
great.
imagine if
So-
I wasn't? They needed like 5 hours to do
Yeah.
my hair and makeup.
We're not going to do a private rehearsal before because it's so early, right? We're not.
Yeah, I don't
think
even
so.
know how you guys are like, well, we'll talk about this off the air. But I'm also just like, how is this going to be made into what it's supposed to be? Because I'm like, anyway.
Because what?
Well, the place that we're shooting is like supposed to be one thing, but it's also not that. So I'm like, interesting.
Because we're making it into a cafe and it's a bowling alley.
No, it's
Yeah.
no, it's not a bowling alley. It's a store.
Oh, that's next door to the bowling alley,
Yeah.
right? Oh, right. Cookbook, right?
Yeah. Are you allowed to like talk like this about the show?
Yeah.
Well,
Or
I'm
you
not like
just-
saying you don't know what the scenes are, right?
Yeah. I guess nobody's gonna be
Um,
like, oh, and they go to cookbook.
Yeah. It won't give anything away. But yeah, we're shooting at a cookbook market, but we're going to make it seem like it's like a cafe, I think.
Cafe.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
we'll create like this stuff. People can always figure this stuff out. 2 stools at like a
Totally.
countertop, and then it's like a cafe.
But by the way, I think
Yeah,
a huge
yeah.
reason why people stylistically also love the show so much is because everything's on location. Shows now
Mhm.
are all on stages, and it just gives the show such a
Yeah.
cinematic feel and look. It all being on location.
Yeah.
And
All right,
also
guys.
LA
My
is like
baby's opening. My
awesome.
baby's waking up. My baby's
Okay.
waking up.
Okay,
Bye.
Justine, thank you for taking the time on your day
Justine, of
off.
course.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you for doing this on a Sunday. This is crazy of you.
Of
I
course.
could not believe you said yes. Crazy
Oh,
to say yes.
I'm happy to do it. Honestly,
Okay.
it's really Tyson who's like the real MVP because I've been like working on lines and working out and now this. So
Okay,
You're
well,
the
please
best.
thank him for us.
Yeah.
I will.
Bye, Tyson.